This is Project Audion, timeless audio dramas for modern times, created the classic way. Hello, I'm Larry Groby with the Generic Radio Workshop. You know, in selecting material for Project Audion shows, I take a lot of things into account. One of them is, can we do justice to the material? Can we capture the spirit, the sound, the timing? And for instance, I've long thought about a Bob Hope show, for example. But to do justice to Bob Hope, that's not easy. Those of us of a certain age can easily conjure up the memory of what was one of the 20th century's greatest entertainers. After all, his performing career stretched for 80 years, all the way from vaudeville to the start of the Internet era. He was tops in vaudeville, appeared in Broadway hits, had best-selling books and high-charting recordings, was top box office in the movies, had huge ratings on TV, and, of course, a multi-decade radio career. Not bad for a fellow born in England to a stonemason and a cleaner, who became an American icon for the uncounted trips he made to entertain America's armed forces during so many conflicts. Many of us still remember all those visits and how they got turned into popular Christmas specials. In World War II and beyond, they served as settings for his weekly radio shows, which always saw an enthusiastic audience of servicemen anxious to laugh at his jokes. So how do you do justice to Bob Hope? Well, you start with a new script crafted by one of Hope's actual writers. Robert L. Mills worked with him for the last 2 decades of his performing career, and he knows how to create terrific new material. And then you seek out someone who can recreate Bob Hope's unique delivery, because it just won't sound right unless it sounds right. And with Bill Johnson, who has been a Bob Hope tribute artist for 2 decades, well, it sounds right. Bob Hope died in 2003, aged 100. Now, the half-life of celebrities being what it is, some people today don't even know much about him. But for those of us who do, well, he produced decades of great memories. So, as his theme song had it, thanks for those memories. And now, let's listen, and we'll try to create a few more.
For the safety of your smile, use Pepsodent twice a day. See your dentist twice a year. The Pepsodent Show, starring Bob Hope. Coming to you from the San Diego Naval Training Center in San Diego, California, it's the Bob Hope Pepsodent Christmas Show with Bob Hope and tonight's guest, Lana Turner. And now, here's the star of our show, Bob Hope.
Thank you, men. This is Bob Bell-Bottom Nostrils Hope, telling you to use Pepsodent for a smile so white, you'll help guide Santa's sleigh on Christmas night. Hey, I'm thrilled to be here at America's largest federally funded yacht club. And it's so friendly, too. One other private club invites its members to join with a personal letter that begins, "Greeting." And it's so exclusive. Even the rats on these ships have to pass a physical. And it's so safe. We have to pay to protect our houses in Beverly Hills, but here, the Shore Patrol provides the service for free. And I got a wonderful welcome here when I got off the ship. But tell me, isn't the gangplank supposed to be attached to the dock? But coming aboard, I got a 21-gun salute. Luckily, they missed. Greeted upon arrival, thank you very much. I was greeted upon arrival by several of the officers. Now, you know how to spot an officer, right? If it's got stripes on its sleeve instead of its back, it's not a skunk, so you better salute it. And by the way, I must say I love your uniforms. Well, Maybe there are too many buttons on the pants. By the time you get them all unfastened, the girl's married and has 3 kids with another guy. But I arrived on a carrier, or as you guys call them, a flat top. Now, you know what a flat top is. That's a Dick Tracy character with airplane. But I met a couple of crew members from Destroyer. Now, you all know what a destroyer is. That's a battleship on Saratan. They call destroyers tin cans because the sleeping quarters are so narrow, you need a can opener to get to the bunk. But that USS Lexington is something else. I asked one guy, what time do we dock? And the guy said, it depends on what end of the ship you're on. No, this carrier is so big, the crew members have to use signal flags just to talk to each other. It's so big, the rats have valet parking. Now, I was invited to have dinner aboard, and I must say it was delicious. The main entree must have been foreign. I don't speak French, but it was something on a shingle. But the guy sitting next to me said, do you know the difference between a biscuit and an anchor? I said, no. And he said, well, here, have a biscuit. And I wouldn't say these seagulls are well fed, but 3 of them are enrolled in Weight Watchers. Now, I heard one seagull say to the other, I just saw the Admiral arriving for dinner. First dibs on the trash bins. But hey, I was invited to sleep on board. They assigned me a hammock in the enlisted men's quarters. Well, not exactly a hammock. They gave me a piece of canvas, a length of rope, and pointed to a bulkhead with a palm tree painted on it. And I won't say it was a long way from the head, but I got up during the night, and on the way back, I ran into Amelia Earhart. What's that?
Cage, a beautiful sight to see.
Kelowna, what are you doing here?
Well, greetings, Gate. It's called singing. Judging from your latest reviews, something you're not very familiar with.
Well, you wouldn't sound that great next to Bing either. Wait, hey, you were late. You were late for the show, so we started without you.
Well, not my fault, Snozzle Snout. I was with some Boy Scouts who were helping an old lady cross the street.
Is that all? Why would that make you late?
She didn't want to go.
And I heard you had a little trouble getting through security.
Oh, not me. My mustache. They thought I was trying to sneak an enemy spy aboard.
They find anyone?
Well, just my date from last night. But she's a pacifist.
But tell me, Kelowna, are you enjoying your visit?
Oh, they're all great guys, Hope. I got to meet a lot of them last night playing shuffleboard.
They play shuffleboard in the Navy?
Well, I think it was the mustache that got them. They said I'm the first civilian they ever saw who can play shuffleboard and sweep the deck at the same time.
Oof.
Well, I'm off to build a bridge to Coronado.
But Kelowna, there's already a bridge to Coronado.
Well, tear it down, boys. They don't need it.
And now here's Bill Goodwin with some things you didn't know about Pepsodent.
Thanks, Bob. Pepsodent toothpaste gives you the big plus of Irium, that speedy super cleanser that loosens and flushes away that filmy coating you can feel with your tongue. You see, you can have a bright smile and never know it. It may be hidden under a dull coating that stains and makes your teeth look dingy. But once that film is whisked away, there's your natural smile, your bright smile, ready to shine.
I'll remember that. I'll keep my mouth shut during blackouts.
Why stop there, Bob?
Oh, go, you Irium slave, go.
But seriously, give Pepsodent a chance to show you how bright your smile can be. Give that cool, refreshing flavor of Pepsodent a chance to wake up your taste and let you know your teeth are clean, bright, and you'll know that they are just by the feel of them. So tell you what to do. You know that empty metal tube you've been saving? Take it to your store tonight. Doesn't matter what kind of an old tube you take to the store. The important thing is to bring back a tube of Pepsodent toothpaste.
Thanks, Bill. And now it's time to introduce this week's guest. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the glamorous star of MGM's newest film, Marriage is a Private Affair, co-starring James Craig and John Hodiak, Ms. Lana Turner.
Oh, thank you, Bob. I'm happy to be here. And thank you for that wonderful introduction.
Well, I thought I'd throw in a plug for your latest movie. You've been so busy lately. Show off.
Not as busy as you are, Bob. I read where your latest war bond fund drive raised over $3 million to help support our troops overseas.
Well, what's a million here or there? Crosby can raise that much just by selling one of his horses.
No, I'm serious, Bob. Why, just yesterday there was a picture of you in the paper at the Hollywood Canteen, at a table with Rhonda Fleming, Ava Gardner, and Hedy Lamarr stuffing war bond envelopes.
Well, actually, the girls were stuffing them. I was just sealing them with the steam coming out of my ear. But hey, I've been looking forward to having you on the show for a long time.
When I've always wanted to appear in a sketch with you.
It's perfect casting, Lana. You're passionately in love with me, and we kill your husband so you can marry me.
Oh, I love science fiction.
How did that line get in there? No, our story is based on that hit movie starring Barbara Stanwyck and Fred MacMurray called Double Indemnity. Only our version is called Double Insanity. Maestro, if you please.
Wallace Nasty devoted 17 faithful years to what he now considers a thankless and unrewarding job, selling and renewing insurance policies for Thrifty, Life, and Casualty, a company he now feels has a 2-ton anchor chained around his neck, slowly pulling him under.
Good evening, Mr. Nasty. Working late again?
Yeah.
Yeah, let me help you with this heavy door. You look a little done in, and there's blood on your shoulder there.
I gotta be more careful shaving. I'm fine. I'm just some dictating left to do upstairs.
12, right?
Yeah.
12 it is. Hey, that arm don't look too good, Mr. Nasty.
I'm okay. It's nothing.
Well, I'd better ride up with you just to be sure. So, how's the insurance business, Mr. Nasty?
It's fine. Just fine, Freddie.
Yeah, they wouldn't ever give me none. Claimed it was a bad ticker.
That's so.
Yeah, everything else I got checked out okay, but they still wouldn't give me no policy. Can you beat that? No imagination.
Office memorandum. Wallace Nasty to Bernard Stoneman, claims manager. You'll probably consider this a confession, but here we are, Stoneman. Mr. Hotshot Claims Adjuster, the man who can smell a phony claim from across the room. Well, you missed this one, the Dickinson claim. Remember the blonde with the double indemnity policy? Remember how that little man in your gut told you it wasn't an accident, wasn't a suicide, but cold-blooded murder? Well, check and double check. But you made a mistake. You pinned it on the wrong guy. It was me. I killed Robert Dickinson. Me, Wallace Nasty, insurance agent, 35 years old, unmarried, no visible scars. Until a little while ago, that is. Yes, I killed him. I killed him for money and a woman. And I didn't get the money, and I didn't get the woman. She shot me instead. But I'll get to that. It all began last April Fool's Day, and I was the crazy fool. I had driven over to San Marino to get a signature on Mr. Dickinson's automobile policy renewal. Dickinson wasn't home. But when his wife opened the door, dressed only in a towel, I suddenly didn't mind.
I'm sorry. I was in the pool. Mr. Nasty, is it?
Far back as I can remember.
Insurance.
That's my game.
You know, growing up, my worst nightmare was being stuck in an elevator with an insurance salesman.
I'm here to renew your husband's auto policy. And we do things in elevators other than discuss actuarial tables. Now, any idea when Mr. Dickinson will be back?
Not a clue. He doesn't tell me anything.
Not even how that towel you're wearing brings out the deep blue of your eyes?
Oh, not a chance. He's in the oil business.
Shame. Not much color in oil wells.
Oh, just green, Mr. Nasty. Plenty of green.
Well, that explains the upstairs and downstairs maid.
And the gardener. And the full-time cook.
Well, in that case, maybe your husband would be interested in our life and accident policy. I handle all types.
Maybe he would at that. Why don't you drop by tonight? He's usually home around 8:30.
Will you be there?
Sure. I'll cancel my bridge game with the girls.
You do that? Wearing that same perfume you're wearing now?
Of course.
And that same gold bracelet that adorns an ankle that would put Esther Williams to shame?
Aren't you exceeding the posted speed limit, Mr. Nasty?
I'm sorry, officer. How fast was I going?
About 90.
Are you going to give me a ticket?
I'll let it slide this time.
Slide, she said. Not even a slap on the wrist?
Don't press your luck. Let's just stick to insurance for now, shall we? Tonight, Mr. Nasty, we'll be expecting you around 8:30.
As I left, she was peeking at me through a carelessly parted curtain. She was crazy about me, I could tell. And that went double for me. Those eyes, those lips, that towel. So very, very blushing. I thought the stars were lining up for me, or she was playing me. And the stakes weren't poker chips, it was the gas chamber. I had barely gotten back to my apartment when the doorbell rang. Why, Mrs. Dickinson, what are you doing here?
Please, call me Diane.
Only if you call me Wally.
You left your hat, Wally.
Well, come in. Have a seat. I could have picked it up tonight.
I know, but I wanted to talk to you. You know a lot about insurance, right?
All they want me to know, yeah, I guess. I handle all kinds. Fire, earthquake, theft, public liability, group insurance, even pets. Why?
Is it possible to take out a life insurance policy without the insured person knowing about it.
Maybe. If they thought they were signing something else.
Like an auto renewal form?
Yeah, I suppose so. We're talking about your husband, right?
Yes, I am.
Why would you want him to sign a policy on his life without telling him?
Well, Robert's always been superstitious about life insurance. That's why he never had any. Could you handle something like that tonight?
I suppose I could have him sign, thinking it was another auto policy form. How much coverage do you think he'd like?
About $100,000 should do it. Double indemnity, of course.
Double indemnity? Yeah, I could do that. As she left, I was still basking in that delicious perfume she wore. Oh, to 100 grand. I knew what she really wanted, to eliminate her wealthy husband and collect a huge payout, while I collected her, and outsmarted a company that had left me stranded on a dead-end career path. I got to thinking about how somebody might possibly pull off a perfect murder. And then, with somebody's husband out of the way, and somebody's pockets filled with cash, somebody could spend the rest of our lives on a Bora Bora beach, fanned by papaya leaves while sipping Mai Tais. And then the phone rang, and somebody's life changed forever. Hello?
Wally, it's Diane.
How about that? I was just thinking about that conversation we had. I have some ideas.
Never mind. I have to cancel your appointment. I just got a call from my husband. He's been injured in an accident on the job.
Gee, I hope it's nothing serious.
He broke several bones in his foot. The doctors are putting on a cast now.
Look, Diane, if he's wearing a cast, that could fit right into my plan.
What plan?
Making his life worth $100,000 without his knowledge.
We'll have to put that on hold for a moment. The doctors want him to take the train to San Francisco tomorrow night to see some specialists.
A train? A train is perfect. Makes the whole thing easier. I'll stop by your place tomorrow afternoon. Mr. Dickinson can sign the policies then, and I'll fill you in on all the details.
Wally,
Yes?
be careful.
You too, Buttercup. I'm nuts about you. Bring a towel. The next afternoon, I stopped by the Dickinsons' apartment, introduced myself to the policyholder, and had him sign the documents, with the double indemnity life page neatly included among them so he wouldn't notice the difference. Then, as I was leaving, in walked Dickinson's daughter from his first marriage, Lolita. She was dropping off some groceries.
I got those melons you asked for.
Nice melons they were, too. After being introduced, she asked if I could give her a lift a few blocks down the hill to her apartment. I was happy to oblige. Like her mother, Lolita was a looker, and I'm still a growing boy. So, Lolita, your mother tells me you're engaged to be married.
Yes, that's right, Mr. Nasty. To a young man I met at UCLA, Andy Marinera. He's a pre-med student from Italy.
But your mother told me he's having financial problems keeping up with the tuition.
Not really. Andy had to take off a semester, but he's got a good job waiting tables, so he'll be back in school soon.
Well, maybe your dad could help him out.
They don't get along. My father thinks Andy is after me to get his money. You know, San Marino and all that.
That's tough on you kids.
Don't worry about us, Mr. Nasty. We'll get by. Andy's really smart. Oh, here's my corner. That's my apartment building.
Well, I'd love to take you both to dinner sometime. I love Italian food.
Who doesn't? Thanks, Mr. Nasty.
After dropping her off, I parked my car around the corner from the Dickinsons' apartment. I strapped on a fake cast I'd made, then hopped into the couple's newly insured LaSalle and crouched on the floor in the back seat. I was wearing a blue suit like Dickinson's and a snap-brimmed fedora to hide my face. It wasn't long before Dickinson hobbled out on his crutches, deposited his overnight bag in the trunk, and got into the front seat while his wife slid behind the wheel for the drive to Union Station.
I'll rush ahead and buy your ticket, honey. You just lean back and rest here. I'll be back in a moment.
Carefully as I could, I stretched the garrote I had fashioned from the length of telephone wire anchored at each end to matching dowels. Well, that's what it says here, folks. As Mr. Dickinson leaned back in his seat, I quickly dropped the garrote over his head and...
Say, have you heard about Pepsodent's new toothbrush? Didn't know they sell toothbrushes too? The Pepsodent company doesn't miss a bet when it comes to making teeth brighter and better looking. The new Pepsodent 50 Tough toothbrush is now a better toothbrush. Better because it has improved Fibrex, DuPont's newest and finest bristle. These new bristles are sturdier, heavier than before, and that means they'll last longer. But strong as they are, they're still gentle, kind to tender gums, and they feel good to your mouth the first time you use them. And did you know that this new Pepsodent 50 Tough toothbrush carries the Good Housekeeping seal of approval? That means you can buy it with complete confidence. So, tonight, folks, go out and get a new Pepsodent 50 Tough toothbrush. And now, back to Bob Hope and our exciting story of double insanity.
With Dickinson dead, now we had to get rid of the body. I knew you would check every detail, Stoneman. That's the way you are. Check, check, and double check. You wouldn't even say today is Tuesday without checking your calendar first. And then you'd check if it was this year's or last year's calendar. And then you'd find out what company printed the calendar. And then make sure it matches the World Almanac. But you see, I double checked too. And so far, we were on track for Bora Bora. Diane would drive the body to a railroad siding I had picked out. After I jumped in the train myself, we'd stage the body beside the tracks to look as though Dickinson had leapt to his death. My job had shown me so many fake suicide cases, so many perfect murders, that I was sure I knew how to commit one myself.
Nice job, Wally. Looks like he's passed out. Just had a few too many.
Thanks, Diane. Help me get him into the trunk, and then you shove off. And be careful you don't speed, darling.
Too late for that. You be careful. Here's your ticket. And the crutches.
Once aboard the train, I made my way on Dickinson's crutches back to the observation platform. Unfortunately, there was someone already there.
Oh, stranger, can I get you a chair?
And no thanks. I'd rather stand.
You going far?
San Francisco.
I'm going to Walla Walla. That's in Washington. My name's Thompson, Merlin Thompson.
Uh-huh. I stood deep in the shadow of the rear deck awning to make sure this guy didn't get a good look at my coat. Didn't seem to bother him, though. He rambled on like it didn't matter if I was there or not.
You ever been to Walla Walla?
Uh-uh.
Nice town, Walla Walla. We like to say, so nice they named it twice.
Yeah, like Bora Bora.
That's a good one. Never heard that one before. Gotta remember that. Say, that's tough about your foot. You know, I had a broken arm once.
Sorry.
Yeah, that darn cast itches something fierce, don't it? I thought I'd go crazy with mine.
The train approaching Oxnard much quicker than I thought it would. And I realized I had to get rid of Mr. Mr. Thompson quickly if I was to meet Diane at our arranged location. Darn. I seem to have forgotten my cigars.
Oh, don't give it a thought. No, sirree. I'd be happy to get them for you. I should stretch my legs anyway. I've been sitting on my duff long enough. Hey, I'm a poet and don't know it.
Well, I'm in the next car back, compartment 24A. Cigars are in a leather case on the luggage rack. Thanks. Once Mr. Thompson left, I eased over the railing onto the ledge beneath. As the ground moved by at about 15 miles per hour, I waited until I spotted our planned rendezvous. I leapt into the night and rolled onto the ground. Yes, Stoneman, our plan was working perfectly. Of course, the next couple of weeks would be tough. We had to make sure we weren't seen together. Weren't the price of murder. It would be hard to keep away from her towels. But we'd agreed there would be absolutely no chance encounters, not even any phone calls.
Good morning, Mr. Nasty.
Good morning, Emily. Is Mr. Stoneman in his office?
He's been asking about you since he arrived. He's with a client right now, but I'm sure you can go right in.
Thanks. Maybe he's putting me on parole.
Oh, Mr. Nasty, you're so funny.
Thanks. I just hope Paramount thinks so.
You're caught, Garibaldi. Just admit it. I caught you red-handed. Oh, hello, Nasty. Have a seat. This four-flusher is one of your policies.
I don't do nothing bad. My truck just crashed into a tree for no reason.
Don't give me that. I knew this was a phony claim as soon as it crossed my desk. I see hundreds of these claims a month, and I can spot a fake every time.
How will you know that for sure?
Got a little man who lives right here in my gut, who tells me.
Well, this time maybe it's your old, sir. I step on the brake pedal and nothing happens. And then that tree shows up.
Don't give me that bull, Garibaldi. I sent an investigator over to your garage, and he found the shavings you left after drilling a hole in the brake fluid line. Now, get out of here before I call the cops.
Oh, you will be sorry. You will be hearing from my...
Your lawyer?
No worse. My wife.
Another lying lowlife cheat trying to put one over on the insurance company. Everybody with a policy must think when they decide to put in a claim that we are so stupid we'd fall for any story they cook up. For 30 years, I've been listening to every lame-brain attempt to cash in without the cold, hard facts to back them up. They think that I was born yesterday and they'll slip by, but they don't.
You're good, Stoneman. I'll give you that. You catch most false claims before the company pays off. But down deep, you're a marshmallow, Stoney. You have a heart as big as a couch cushion. You just gave that struggling truck owner a break by not prosecuting him for insurance fraud. You have the evidence, and yet you let it slide. Why?
You got a family. He's not a criminal. He just saw what he thought was the perfect opportunity to replace his burned-up vehicle and took a chance his claim would slip between the cracks. He turned out to be wrong, but he's learned his lesson. Why kick a case like this up to the prosecution boys?
That's very noble of you. Hey, so why did you want to see me?
I'm close to figuring out the Dickinson claim. It was no suicide.
How do you know? Your little man tell you?
He did. As soon as I studied that report more closely.
What happened?
Supposedly, he took a header off the rear platform of a train going only 15 miles an hour. You know what the odds are? Someone trying to end his life that way?
It could have been an accident.
No way. The guy had a cast on his foot and was on crutches.
But everyone likes to walk.
Even where he was going? Sorry, I don't buy it. This is all too complicated. Mrs. Dickinson had to be working with someone else, and I think I know exactly who that someone else was.
And who might that be?
Mrs. Dickinson has a daughter named Lolita, see?
She's working a scam? With her daughter?
No, but I think Lolita's boyfriend is. A medical student from Italy named Marinara who's been running short of tuition money.
How do you know all this?
I put a tail on Mrs. Dickinson and found out he was spending most of his nights with her. I've got a witness in the next room who was the last person to see Robert Dickinson alive on that train platform. I flew him down from Washington this morning. Come in, Mr. Thompson. Thank you for coming in from Walla Walla at such short notice.
Sure. Happy to be of help, Mr. Stoneman, as long as all my expenses are paid, of course.
Of course. That goes without saying. Oh, I'm sorry. This is Walter Nasty. I was telling you about him earlier.
Oh, so you're nasty, huh?
Some people think so.
How do you do, Mr. Nasty? Yes, Mr. Stoneman said you were one of their best salesmen. Say, you look familiar. You do any trout fishing up around Bennington Lake? Seems like I've seen you up there.
No, sorry. I've never been to Bennington Lake.
Huh. Well, maybe I saw you camping at Indian Lake. Well, it used to be called that.
I seriously doubt it. I hate camping. Never enjoyed sleeping in a tent.
Well, yeah, I have to admit them mosquitoes are as big as bumblebees. I was an Eagle Scout, and they even turned me off.
Cigars!
Pardon me?
Best mosquito repellent there is. Light up one of these chimneys and they disappear just like that.
Maybe, but we was only 12.
Mr. Thompson, are you ready to take a look at those photos of the murder victim?
Sure.
Well, that's him. Take your time. This is the man who asked you to pick up his cigars?
This one looks a little like him, but no, I think he was taller. Not the height of Mr. Nasty here. In fact...
Say, you do a lot of fishing?
Every chance I get. In fact, my wife says...
You must see lots of people out there who look like me.
Well, I guess you could say that. I'm just saying that the man I saw on that train platform looked more like you than the man in the photos there.
No, thank you, Mr. Thompson. We may need you later, if this case ever gets to court.
Always ready to help. You need me again, just give me a call. And if you're ever in Walla Walla, well, I hope...
There's our proof, Walter. This case is falling apart like a cheap pocket watch. We know the Dickinson woman is working with someone else, and sooner or later we'll know who. A murder is never perfect, and when two people are involved, it's usually sooner. It'll show. Sometime he's got to show. Somewhere they'll meet. Their emotions are all kicked up. They think it's twice as safe because there are two of them. But it's not twice as safe. It's 10 times as dangerous.
A few days later, I ran into Diane in the small grocery store we had shopped at. Hiya, Nick. Those pickles I like come in yet?
Yeah, you're in luck. Just stacked them on the shelf back there.
Good. I'll grab a few jars. I spotted Diane in the bread aisle and whispered through the loose loaves. Hey, Stoneman is getting suspicious. He can't figure out why the crutches were there.
Is that all?
He says he can't put his finger on it, but he says there's something odd about them being there. The train's speed bothers him too. It was only going 15 miles per hour when Dickinson jumped.
So what?
So why would anyone jump off a train going only 15 miles an hour to commit suicide?
Hey, what's the deal? Didn't you learn all of this stuff at insurance school?
Guess I played hooky that day. The bottom line is, Stoneman thinks your husband was murdered.
So that answers the question of what's been holding up the insurance money.
Yeah, the little man in Stoneman's gut. And the claims boys upstairs who signed the company's checks.
Well, if Stoneman had anything solid on me, you'd be the first to know, wouldn't you?
Knowing how hard he works to protect Thrifty Home and Casualty's bank account, I'm sure he's got a list of possible suspects 10 feet long.
Oh, that reminds me. I need some more marinara sauce. Then I'm ready to check out.
This was when I finally realized that Diane had been two-timing me, canoodling with the Italian medical student. And I also remember now how Lolita had confided that she suspected her mother of killing Dickinson's first wife while working as a nurse. I didn't believe Lolita then, but I was about to learn just how proficient Diane was at pulling the plug on someone. I went to Diane's apartment to confront her with what I had learned, and she provided me a vivid demonstration of that proficiency. Thanks to a .38 caliber police special. However, I came equipped with one too, so it evened out the odds. Diane and I went to the end of the line together, and we punched each other's tickets. It turns out you were right, Stoneman. And now the time was here when you'd realize Dickinson's murderer had always been sitting right across from you.
Hello. That looks nasty.
Stoneman, there's only room for one comedian here. You're up awful early. I often wondered what time you showed up to work. Did your little man pull you out of bed?
The janitor did. Seems you leaked a little blood on your way in here.
I wouldn't be surprised. I came down because I wanted to straighten out that Dickinson story for you. How long have you been standing there?
Long enough.
It's kind of a crazy story, with a crazy twist to it. One you didn't quite figure out.
You can't figure them all, Wally.
You can't, can you? And now I suppose I get the big speech. The one with all the $2 words in it. Well, let's have it, Stoneman.
You're all washed up, Wally.
Thanks, Stoneman.
I'm calling a doctor.
What for? So they can patch me up till I'm back on my feet? So I can walk under my own power into the gas chamber?
Something like that, Wally.
Well, I got a different idea. Look, suppose you went back to bed and didn't find these dictaphone recordings till the office opened tomorrow. From then on, you can play it any way you like. Would you do that much for me?
Give me one good reason.
I need 4 hours to get to the Mexico border.
You haven't got a chance. You'll never even make it to the elevator.
Hasta la vista, Keystone. I'm on the road to Acapulco.
Hello? Send an ambulance to the Pacific Building. Yeah, it's a police show. An ambulance is coming.
I don't need it. I'm fine. Just fine. Only somebody moved the elevator a couple of miles away.
Wally? You are crazy to think you could ever get away with it.
Yeah, thanks. I'm crazy about you too. Crazy. Crazy. Well, fellas, that was fun. Nice to be dramatic for a change.
It was, Bob. And you were so bad.
My character, Kelowna?
No, you're acting.
Thanks, Kelowna. I don't know what you thought, Lana, but I had a great time.
I did too, Bob. And you know, can you believe that Santa's on his way?
Hey, it's easier for him. He doesn't have to worry about gas rationing.
Yeah, but have you checked the price of reindeer feed lately?
Tell me about it, Kelowna. I feed my reindeer all my divots from Lakeside.
Well, I hope you both have a wonderful Christmas. And that goes for all of you brave boys in the audience, too.
Hey, how about that, fellas? Sounds like a direct order from the commanding officer to me.
If their commanding officer looked like that, the recruiting office would look like Macy's on Christmas Eve.
Oh, that reminds me. I have a few more gifts to buy.
Looks like it's all there and has been gift wrapped.
But seriously, Bob, I want to wish one and all the merriest of Christmases.
Well said, Lana. And that goes for all of us up here tonight, fellas. So thanks for the memory of Lana Turner's smile, her beauty and her style. She's got such laughs despite my gaffes and continues to beguile. We thank her so much. And thanks for the memory of these sailors and Marines standing by behind the scenes. These patriots give all they've got, whichever way peace leans. We thank them so much. Hey, we've all had a great time here at the Naval Station. We wish you a Merry Christmas and thanks to all our troops serving here in this great city of San Diego. Next week, we travel to Travis Air Force Base near Sacramento, California. Thank you, and good night, everybody.
This program came from the San Diego Naval Base in San Diego, California. This is NBC, the National Broadcasting Company.
Well, that wraps up another Project Audion radio show. This time our cast featured Bill Johnson in Nevada, Stephanie Johnson, no relation, in Virginia, Les Marsden in California, Jacob Polka in Illinois, Bethany Baldwin in South Carolina, and Dane Allred in Utah. The show was written by Bob Mills in California and produced by me, Larry Groby, from Texas. Now, if you enjoyed it, then click the like button, or share it, leave a comment, or tell someone else about this and the dozens of other Project Audion recreations that we've made just for you. You could even visit the Project Audion website and send us a comment or a suggestion for a future show. You see, we'd love to hear from you. And until next time, thanks for listening.
Do you guys have a minute? This is an interesting story. I was watching one night. Hope was doing a tribute to Omar Bradley. And Omar was really getting up at that point, and he was about 90 at that point, I think. And he had had a couple of strokes, but he was still lucid, but he couldn't really stand up, so they sort of had him propped up. And Hope was giving him an award of some kind. Hope got back into town and called me. He said, "Did you see the Bradley thing?" I said, "Yeah, you were really good." Hope said, "I thought it was terrible." And I said, "Really? What do you mean?" "I thought it was touching." Hope
Generally
says,
speaking.
"I hope that never happens to me." And I said,